One thing I wanted to add too is secondary. For the I talked about the shifts in elementary. It's 50-50. Well, in secondary, it's a three-way. It's informational text, it's literary text, and then it's also scientific. So again, I think that there's an opportunity, where the more tangible text might give English language learners some of this sort of innate scaffolding there. But complex text can also show itself in all of those genre and even all content areas. And one of the concerns we have is as we move to complex text, and one of the things that a lot of folks are talking about are text-dependent questions, is that we don't come up with sort of very procedural recipes of choosing complex text. And how do you teach complex text? You do 1, 2, 3. Complex text isn't just a long sentences with commas or semicolons. And it's much more than that. It's your noun phrases, it's the complexity, but it's also how you use language. It's also how language can communicate something much deeper than simply what you're reading. So it's knowing how to derive meaning from the imagery, inferences. Really, the complexity is not just how you put words together, but it's about the meaning it's conveying. And for students, nobody comes to school knowing how to do that. It's academic language. Nobody is a native academic language speaker. You learn that in school. And so one of the things that we're really stressing is how do you teach teachers to then turn around and teach students how to deconstruct the text and really derive meaning. And even one of the things that we're looking at is how do teachers select complex text? Because we have textbooks, but that's not the same thing. If you start looking at authentic literature, you're going to have a range. And so what would be the appropriate level of complexity for a second grader? And what would be an appropriate level of complexity for a seventh grader?